days after Christmas. So welcome to the Let Them Talk Christmas show. I'm your host, Paul DiRienzo, and our guest is Katya Grineva. Hi, Katya.
Hi.
Glad to have you on again. And it's always so much fun because you're such a talented pianist and you know so much about the subject, of course. And we're going to play some clips of your music in a few minutes. And so tell us a little bit, what have you been up to? What parts of the world have you traveled to?
Well, I've traveled to Africa this season, to Zambia and Zimbabwe, Botswana. That was my exotic trip.
And it was exotic. You play like a more exotic type of. Do you play when you're playing? Do you add like a little bit of conga line to your?
No,
no, you don't.
no. Actually,
kidding.
they really appreciate if I
Yeah.
come play classical music because there's not so much of it.
Right, they don't have
So-
that much class.
But they have actually like a lot of Europeans, so those people really appreciate it, and they're starving for it in a way.
Sure, and
Yeah.
people come to your shows. Where do you play? Do they have a concert hall, anything like Carnegie Hall in Zimbabwe? Or?
Actually, in Zambia, they had the French Cultural Center, and they had a stage in a Steinway. That was the best concert hall in Zambia. Then I went to Zimbabwe, and I went to Victoria Falls, and that was the most beautiful hotel. Like, it's like an old movie. You can't imagine how gorgeous it is. It's like English palace. And they had a 9-foot piano. It was not a Steinway, but it was a 9-foot instrument.
Is that a large size, 9 foot?
It's the biggest
The
one.
biggest one you can get, biggest piano.
And it was very beautiful venue.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find very beautiful places
That's a
actually.
natural backdrop. Did you actually have the natural backdrop of the falls behind you? Or?
If you go out of the hotel, you see the falls and you see the mist.
Wow.
So that was very amazing.
So great. So you're
Yeah.
bringing. So there isn't a lot of live classical performances in those countries in Africa, or
Well, there is some. Like there is a German guy who lives there, and he started this classical program. So he was one of the guys who invited me,
oh, great.
Tio.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. So I always want to ask you that because you are a world traveler and you get to play in so many interesting places around the world. So since now let's talk about what's coming up on the 27th. It's your Christmas concert, a classical holiday, and let's see at the Stern Auditorium, Perlman Stage, Carnegie Hall, Thursday, December 27th, 2018 at 8 p.m. And folks can get information at www.carnegiehall.org. Now that done, tell us a little bit about what you'll be playing. I can see the list here. But
It's
you
a very
can tell us
long
better.
list, right?
Yeah, it's a long
So-
list of material. Here's the, right, well, there you go. And it's a long list of material. Tell us a
I'm
little
playing. The first half is like very many beautiful romantic pieces, like Ave Maria, Schubert, the Swan Song, Schubert Impromptu, beautiful piece by Offenbach, Barcarolle. Then I'm doing Debussy, Clair de Lune.
Okay.
I'm doing Boat on the Ocean, one of my favorite pieces too.
How did you pick them for Christmas?
Then I'm doing Tchaikovsky, Nutcracker.
Uh-huh,
So I'm
that's, of
mixing
course,
up.
Christmas.
Yeah. So
right.
Ave Maria, Nutcracker, that more Christmas. That Barcarolle piece also kind of very holiday-like.
Mhm.
But then in between I put some pieces like romantic pieces.
Right. Very
And the
good.
second half, I'm doing a lot of waltzes. So I'm kind of like want people to experience waltzing into the new year.
Uh-huh.
And I'm doing 3 Chopin waltzes, Waltz Brillante, and 2 others. We're going to hear one of them.
Okay.
And then Byron, my friend Byron Duckwell, made
He was on the show just a
Yes.
few weeks ago.
he really made a very beautiful piece for me, an arrangement of my favorite things.
Mhm.
So it's Waltz Fantasia.
Wow.
So
My
that would be
favorite
really
genre.
nice. Yeah.
that's
And then
good.
I'm playing Mephisto Waltz by Liszt. It's one of the most exciting,
Mhm.
like virtuoso pieces. So it's-
Mephisto, as far as that, the person who sells the soul to the devil, and
Oh, it is kind of like that, but it's such it's so romantic and
Mhm.
exciting and
Mhm.
full of energy.
Yes,
I wanted to play something like that towards the end.
great. So, and we're gonna go play the first piece in a moment. But how are you doing as far as your work with the schools and bringing children to bringing your experience to children, so they'll have that experience?
So because I'm not traveling this last month, I decided to stay in New York and prepare this concert and also offer my music to children. So I went and I played a couple of weeks ago in the Bronx and South Bronx for kids, and I'm playing on the Thursday for children in Queens and then in East Harlem and then early morning in East Village on Friday morning.
Oh, okay.
And I'm bringing a lot of children to the concert. Oh, and I just came from playing at McDonald House.
Ronald McDonald House, right?
Yes.
With children's recovering from cancer.
Yeah, there was a special event for children with cancer, and I was playing.
All
So
right,
I
great.
did. It's a lot.
You do a lot of work with children with schools. Where in
Yeah.
where in the South Bronx?
You know, it was so far. It took me 1 hour to get there.
Right. So way up.
It's
in
actually near Arthur Avenue. You
oh,
can
near
walk.
Arthur Avenue.
Yeah, you
I
can
know
walk
where
to.
that is. Yeah, that's actually more in the middle of the Bronx, but I know it well.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Bronx.
Oh, really?
Partly. In the
I mean, it
Bronx.
was really nice.
Yeah.
School
great.
was beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, great. So, what are we going to listen to first?
I think it's just a little video about my background, and I'm talking about some pieces I'm going to
great.
play.
So we'll get
Yeah.
fast into it. So let's
Yeah.
play the first piece, and then we'll come back and talk some more, which is good. That'll get all the background which we've talked about many times here.
Yeah.
My name is Katya Grineva and I'm a concert pianist. I started to play piano when I was 5 years old, completely by accident, because my parents were not musicians, but the neighbors called one day my mom and said they're taking children to the music school. And they took me along for the walk through the park, and I got accepted in the music school, and I played ever since. And when I was very lucky, because at 15 years old I was entered at school under Moscow Conservatory and studied with Pavel Messner, who was one of the best musicians at that time. And he gave me opportunity to play in Moscow Conservatory Hall. That was my first concert, and that's when I realized I want to be a concert pianist. My father was a cancer research scientist and worked a lot with scientists all over the world. So the scientists with whom he worked were in Buffalo at the Roswell Memorial Park at Cancer Institute, and they invited me for 1 month's vacation. So when I came to United States, and I decided to stay, and I had 2 dreams: to study and to one day play at Carnegie Hall.
I just played for those kids with cancer at McDonald, and I do a lot for cancer.
I have already 5 CDs of romantic repertoire, and I have Carnegie Hall concert during the holiday season. So I was talking to my friend Byron, who produced first 2 discs for me, and we thought that it would be great to record a new CD of holiday repertoire.
It's the only one. It's interesting to me that they recognized him now 60 years ago. He was already looking for cures for cancer.
Really? For cancer? And they knew a lot of things.
We're a sensation. They had organized.
We made a lot of research and we didn't find any classical CD of that repertoire. So we're making arrangements of carols, and I'm going to play Nutcracker by Tchaikovsky, and I think it's going to make really beautiful CD, which I hope will bring a lot of joy and happiness to people during that season.
It's Tchaikovsky.
There you go. A little introduction, an introductory piece, giving people some knowledge, all the way from Moscow, right? That's where you're born, to Buffalo.
Yes.
Similar
to
weather.
New York.
Similar weather.
Yeah.
And to New York City, right? And you fell in love with New York, and you live here all since then, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think of New York?
I think it's the greatest city in the world.
Why is that?
Because it attracts so many people from all over the world come here, and so much creativity and art, and it's amazing for that kind of energy. I mean, I traveled to amazing places all over the world, and I don't find any place like that.
Well, I've been going to your shows, and since I've been going, I've been running into music teacher and teacher friends of mine.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a teacher as well.
Right.
And it was interesting. Last two times I went, I saw a teacher I knew from one of the schools up in the Bronx.
Really?
Yes, and one from a school for autistic young people here in the city. And we looked at each other. How do you know Katya too? Yeah, I know Katya too. We all know Katya. So you've done a lot of work. I know from my own connections, the people I know. Your work has really touched a lot of teachers and a lot of students, and so that's a wonderful thing because you know, some of the students don't really get. You know, school is all about test taking and rote and discipline and all those kind of things. Lots of times they don't have time for fun, and they've been taking the music out of the schools and the art and things like that, and turning it over to full STEM, you know, science, testing. So what would you think of a school, an educational system that got rid of all the arts and got rid of everything that wasn't STEM, you know, science, technology, that kind of stuff? What do you think of that?
I think it's awful.
It's awful, right? So you're campaigning against that.
No, I think arts is so important. I mean, in like playing an instrument and just studying art, it's wonderful for your brain. They even have studies done that children who study an instrument, they do way better in math and any other science. You know?
Isn't music sort of like a math? I mean, you're
is.
taking especially like with a stringed instrument, you're you know, if you play guitar or violin or something, you're taking a string and cutting it into segments, and each segment has a different vibrational frequency, like a piano, right? Every one of those could be you could mathematically model your piano playing.
I remember when I was little, I had to skip school a lot because I wanted to stay home and practice piano, and I would go back and I would go to a math lesson, and I would completely get what the teacher was showing. Like I would raise my hand and I go and I copy whatever she was doing and get the best grade. And I just had intuition for it. But I think it's because of constantly studying notes and memorizing notes and playing. It activates part of your brain.
Of course, I would imagine it did.
Yeah.
So they should be giving these students more of a chance to learn.
Music is so important, and that's art, and it connects you to your heart too.
Right. It makes you more appreciative of life.
Yeah.
I mean, life isn't just about a job and making money, right?
That's right.
There's more to it, and creativity is a big part of it. That's good. So great. And so, all right, we touched on, you've been to Africa twice this year. Excellent. Two countries. You're working with children in cancer hospitals and Ronald McDonald House and in the schools in the South Bronx. You're so busy. How do you, and what else? Are you recording?
Well, I recorded this summer, remember the Chopin Complete Nocturnes?
Yes, we talked about that. Let's talk about it as if nobody heard the show last time.
Right, and that was a big project because I literally took almost 2 months out of my life without playing concerts and just sitting and practicing, and because it's 20 nocturnes, it's 2 discs, and I memorized 20 nocturnes. And that was fantastic.
Are you playing any nocturnes this time?
I'm playing 2 nocturnes in the concert.
Right. What is a nocturne for people who don't know?
The nocturne means a night song. It's a romantic night song. So I'm playing 2 of them in the second half.
Great, they are beautiful.
They're so beautiful.
Chopin, right, is the king of the nocturnes. And also waltzes. Now, what is a waltz?
Waltz is a dance. And so
it's a way of dancing,
it's 1, 2, 3, you know.
Right. And who is? Oh, so it's like, you're right. Like we say to be honest, it's a drinking song.
Is it? I don't know.
It's sort of like they have a lot of drinking songs based on waltzes when you live in the Midwest.
Oh, I didn't know.
A lot of people in Russia and Poland like to drink, and they drink But that said,
well, maybe it's because it's happy.
It's a happy song, right? So, who's the greatest waltz writer, composer of waltzes?
And probably most famous is Strauss, right? But Chopin wrote again 20 waltzes. It's this huge
Mhm.
book, and that's what I'm going to do next.
Right.
After-
Where is the center of the wall? Austria, Hungary, those
Austria,
places.
yeah.
Austria, Hungarians love it too. The
Yeah.
Blue Danube and things
Yeah.
like that. It's a waltz, right? We're gonna play a waltz right now.
Okay, yes, let's
Yes?
do that.
We're gonna do it. Okay, we're gonna play a waltz. We're gonna go and have Katya playing us a waltz. So get your partner. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And having a great time. Only got a couple minutes left, so tell us what's happening. What's happening in?
That's happening in 10 days' time. Thursday, December 27, 8 p.m. Please come to Carnegie Hall. You can get tickets at carnegiehall.org or call 212-247-7800.
All right. So, and we'll revisit that as well. So, tell us, what do you have what's your plans for past this? What are you going to do in the coming year?
Well, first of all, I want to continue with my recordings because I did complete Chopin Nocturnes. The next two things I would like to do is complete Chopin waltzes.
Oh, wow.
And I want to do.
Now, now we can't miss because every song will be a waltz.
Yeah. And then I want to do Chopin preludes as well.
All right, great.
And I have also a concert coming up in February for Valentine's Day in Terrytown. They have a very beautiful music hall,
Oh,
like
we're
so
learning that.
charming. So I'm really looking forward to that.
All right.
So I'll be busy next couple of months. And then I'll see. I think this year I'm going to be going to Europe, maybe to Portugal to give a few concerts.
Are you going to come back for another summer show in New York like you did last year?
I might do that. I don't know. But, you know, I have this, I love Woodstock. I spend a lot of time in the countryside there.
Yeah,
So they have a famous music festival, Maverick. So I hope that this summer I'll play there.
All right, great.
Yeah.
So let's go to this one more clip, and we're going to go to that clip now.
Because that's a nice ending, right? That's actually that music hall in Terrytown. We did this video a week
We have
ago.
enough time to get mention.
This is good, right?
See it, yeah. All right. So that's the information, right? We have a minute and a quarter. So how do you like to finish up? By reminding people, Carnegie Hall, the 27th.
It's going to be my 18th season.
18th season.
Yeah, I'm really
Wonderful.
amazing. And
Wow.
a lot of children are coming. I
But
think
how
I
come
have.
you keep getting younger every time I see you?
I think because I do all this yoga.
You do yoga, that's why.
Remember those Magic
Yes.
10
Yes.
by my friend Sharon Gannon?
Mhm.
I do it every morning. I
Right.
never miss a morning.
Right,
I never
yoga
miss
is
a
your
day.
secret. Okay, see,
Yeah.
that's her secret is
Yeah.
yoga. All right, gotcha. So that'll be at Carnegie Hall on the 27th. People go to carnegiehall.org.com, right? .com, and
No,
learn more about it.
carnegiehall.org.
.org. It is .org. Oh, okay. carnegiehall.org, and learn more about it. And I hope to have you on the show more times because I love having you on and listening to your beautiful music and talking about all the stuff you do and relating it. How your secret, yoga is your secret, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. She does yoga every day. So all those people out there, remember, yoga is the secret. I got to start doing it. All right. And we'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks because next week is Christmas, so we won't be here on Christmas Day. So we'll see you in 2 weeks on Let Them Talk. Take care. Have a great holiday.